This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 574 for October 22nd, 2018. Blobs on the horizon.
Did I get an update or glasses?
Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston, and joining me as always is Vampyr.
Hello, Governor.
A quick couple of pieces of news here at the beginning. We just recorded the latest episode of TVGP's Game Club, wrapping up 2064 read-only memories. That'll be in the feed this week alongside TVGP. And the next game that we're going to be playing is Massive Chalice. Moon's wife is very happy. I'm less so. That's not a game I enjoyed my first time around, so I'm very curious to see if it will grow on me this time.
Yeah, it's worth mentioning she has been pulling for this game since January, February
since
now?
Basically since we brought the show back.
Yeah. And it comes up in the list. She's in the middle of playing Origins.
Yep.
Not Origins, Odyssey. She's in the middle of playing Forza Horizon. What's that I see on the horizon?
Is it a Massive Chalice?
No, it's a Red Dead Redemption.
Oh, yeah. Whoops.
Oh. She is amused and happy and sad all at the same time.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
So we're going to be playing that for the next month. There's also episode 2 of We Rogue Like It coming in the feed. For patrons this week, patreon.com/E1M1, and then episode 1 will be going to the free feed this upcoming week. So if you want to get the newest episode early, go be a patron. It's at the $2 level, $2 a month. That's nothing. I don't know what you can buy for $2 a month, other than our Patreon.
New episode of ODNF hits this. Is it this Friday or next Friday?
It is soon.
At some point.
In the next 2 weeks.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is at the $5 tier.
Yes.
I'm very much looking forward to... We had a good time recording. I'm very much looking forward to the next episode as well, because the next episode is going to be another Wall of Fire, possibly.
Okay.
So,
another
interesting.
Contentious episode, possibly.
Yep.
I mean, that's the thing about Game Club and We Roll Like It and ODNF. They're not all winners.
Nope.
No. Apologies in advance, too, for everyone watching the video. Of course, as soon as we started recording, Moon's video started getting choppy because Skype is terrible. So,
yep.
Sorry, everyone. All right, let's dive into what you've been playing this past week, Moon.
I almost closed Skype to try and get my computer to run faster.
Just waiting for it to be like, all right, let me hit this button. Boodaloop.
Yeah, I would do that, and you know I would.
I've done that plenty of times before where it's like, oh, let me just... Nope, okay. I'll call them back.
Okay, so let's start with Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Okay.
I feel like I've been on the same place in this game for the past 2 weeks.
Okay.
That's not a bad thing.
Okay.
Like, I'm not in no way saying that's a bad thing. I feel like I've slowed my progression a lot. Like, I don't know what has happened. It's just I feel like I've hit the point where I'm high. I think I'm level 28 now. So I'm heading towards the level cap of 50.
Okay.
But I don't know what has happened where suddenly it's like I'm not exploring new lands anymore. I'm jumping in, I'm getting quests, I'm trying to find the secret menu stuff. I'm trying to remain as vague as possible because ideally I want you to go into this game as blind as possible.
Right.
Because there's a lot of stuff in there that I think you will love, but it'll just come down to 2022 when you actually get around to playing it.
Well, funny story, as a matter of fact. I got an email from Google earlier the other day that I've been accepted into Project Stream.
Okay.
And the free game is Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Well, you've got 2 months, 2 months-ish to get it completed in time for Game of the Year.
Well, and also because you can't play it after January. So, but yeah, I'm excited to at least check out the technology, if not play at least a little bit of it to kind of see how it is and get my hands. But if I'm not going to be able to play it after X amount of time, I don't want to dive 100 hours in to just...
Yeah.
But hopefully at that point it'll be on sale on PS4. Black Friday's coming soon.
Yeah, and it's Ubisoft, and they're pretty good about slashing the prices on their stuff during sale times.
Mm-hmm.
But
you saying slashing prices, I just watched Hot Fuzz the other day. Lock me up, I'm a slasher.
Of prices.
God, he's so good. Anyways, I'm really excited to play. At least check out Odyssey, just because I want to play another Assassin's Creed game. I feel like I haven't played an open world game in a little bit because I didn't play Spider-Man, and it's been
God
a while
of War
since
is kind of open world, but not wholly. It's more guided.
Yeah, that's true. And I played Horizon Zero Dawn this year, and that was an open world game, but that was a couple months ago, so I could kind of tuck in for a good Ubisoft open world game.
This is a good one.
I'll have to get that digitally, so I don't have to swap discs for the 200 hours I'll be playing it.
To be honest, it's the biggest positive for me about going digital, with this generation of games. Number one, I have 300 games installed.
Right.
That's a problem. My hard drive
That's a positive and a negative.
Yeah, my hard drive space is definitely a big negative on this.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest advantage to that, and also kind of a disadvantage too, is it's like, you know what? I'm done with 2064 right now. Let's put an hour into Origins.
Mm-hmm.
Boop, boop, boop. Loaded, done, still sitting down, still covered in my comfy, cozy blankets. Yeah. Still warm, didn't break the cocoon of heat surrounding me.
Right.
So I literally can just bounce from game to game to game to game to game all day, every day.
Yeah.
If only I didn't have adult things to do.
Boo.
Such as work, folks, before people take that the wrong way. Such as chores and work and laundry and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It is worth mentioning on the Origins front. So this is
the Odyssey
interesting. It's... Did I say Origins again?
Yeah. The other ACO.
Yeah. Which is funny, because every time my wife talks about this game, and she pointed this out to me, every time she mentions something that she loves about Odyssey, it's like, oh yeah, that was in Origins.
Did she not play Origins?
She did not. She played the tutorial, bounced off the control scheme.
Yeah.
And didn't go back to it at all, whereas I took the deep dive in, and then thank you, friend of the show Greencap, for changing my controls halfway through a 100-hour game, so I get confused every time I start a fight.
Boy, as soon as we changed those controls, it was like, oh, okay, Assassin's Creed, gotcha, cool.
So much better.
Yeah.
I did that, literally, the very first thing I did in Odyssey was change them straight over.
Pause it, change the controls.
I'm not getting confused again.
Yeah.
But... yeah, apparently I just keep on doing the whole, oh yeah, that was in Origins too. Oh, the same thing in Origins, and I think I might be driving my wife a little crazy with it.
You're doing the Simpsons did it thing?
Yes, Simpsons did it first. Yeah, I'm doing that thing. But Odyssey had a big patch recently because it was causing some hard locks, some issues with people trying to progress through the game because they made it too pretty.
Okay.
So they made the draw distance on this game phenomenal. Like, it's genuinely phenomenal. Like, the draw distance on the game, especially on the X with a 4K HDR TV, it's like, look at how crisp and clear this is.
I can see everything.
My wife got to 2 or 3 different points in the story where she hard-locked every single time she went into a cutscene.
Wow.
And there was one particular instance where she had to load her account on my Xbox, play through the mission, and then jump over to hers and continue on, which might sound weird considering we have the exact same generation of Xbox One X. We have the exact same TV.
Yeah.
There was literally no difference between the two systems.
That's weird.
But mine made it through the cutscene fine. Hers didn't.
Have you had to
reason.
do the reverse where you've had to play on hers?
Nope. I've had zero issues.
You have the magic
and I
Xbox.
Apparently. it's you know what? It's all of those installed games, meaning that every game is compressed in a tiny little place and it doesn't have to read the whole thing to try and find it.
Well, I worked in IT. It makes the Xbox heavier and more stable.
Yes, exactly.
It checks out. Don't do the math.
Yes. But they patched the game because apparently the issue was the draw distance, the fidelity, everything about it was pushing some systems too far.
Oh.
And therefore causing crashes and bugs and stuff like that.
That's crazy.
So I didn't notice this. My wife pointed it out to me because my wife is obsessed with Greek culture, Greek mythology,
right,
stuff like that. If they do a Roman Assassin's Creed, I don't think she'll make it past day 2 before completing the game.
Right.
Like, this is 100% her jam kind of thing. Which is funny because Egypt is 100% my jam. So,
yeah.
You know, Origins and Odyssey again, working out pretty nicely. But the way they've fixed this is they've used some Just Cause technology, except not as good. So Just Cause 1, 2, and 3 all did this splendidly, where you go to the very tippity top of the world in a helicopter, you jump out, and it's like, look, green fields, which you can tell are trees, because they've got little tiny defining things.
Here's one river.
And yes, and then as you get closer, it basically transitions it from different resolutions and draws and details as you get closer and closer. Odyssey now does the same thing.
Okay.
Except when Odyssey does it, it's like, look, there's a statue. Let me just move 2 feet back. Blob.
Just poop.
Yeah, it's really obvious. The statue of the lady firing the bow, which I took my favorite screenshot I've ever taken, and Cassandra for the win. I couldn't help but make that joke. I still think it's gold.
Yes.
So I was over the water and a little bit away from that thing when I turned around and I went into photo and I was like, okay, it's a little shape in the distance and there's a red house in front of it. But the red house is like just a grey blob on the side of this mountain. And then literally you zoom in, like the smallest amount is like red house, crystal clear detail, big statue, crystal clear detail. Zoom out a little bit, blob. So it's like blob, non-blob, blob, non-blob.
That has to be such a frustrating thing to develop for developers too, because like the game's already out in the wild. You can't really refactor your engine at this point, so you sort of have to. You got to make it work so it doesn't. Games don't crash, and that's I wouldn't want to be in their position. But at least they were able to get a fix out that, doesn't make the game look substantially worse. It's just sometimes there's going to be a blob in the distance.
Yep, and to be honest, it doesn't affect me in the slightest because I barely even noticed it until she literally pointed it out. And it's one of those things now that every single time I'll notice it.
There's the blob of roads.
Pointed out. So you're welcome, listeners. Enjoy your blobs on the horizon, courtesy of my wife. So have fun with that. Criticism can be pointed in her direction, if you please. So, Assassin's Creed I almost said Origins again. What?
Why did you do this to us, Ubisoft?
Odyssey. I'm still loving that game. Cassandra might be one of my favorite playable characters. I think. Wow, why can't I remember his name now? The guy from Origin. You tell me.
Bayek.
Yes, thank you. Bayek was an incredible character. His story arc was incredible. His performance was incredible.
One of my favorite Assassin's Creed playable characters.
Yep, he is right up there, I think. I honestly think, for me, he takes the title from Ezio.
I would agree, yeah.
Because I love Ezio, but Ezio was way too playful. He didn't take anything seriously at all, whereas Altair before him was the complete opposite, and it was just dour and serious the whole time. I think Bayek, when he was dealing with adults, he was very serious, but whenever you dealt with kids in that game, he was super whimsical and super friendly, and he did the actor, the portrayal, the character, the whole thing was incredible. Cassandra might beat him.
Ooh, exciting.
Not Alexandrios, not me big, strong Alexandrios. But Cassandra's delivery, and by the way, I love the fact that they seem to have switched all of their marketing to showing Cassandra now.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
I don't know what it is, but everything I see promoted by Ubisoft, it's got hair front and center.
Everybody seems to love her. I mean, I don't blame them for switching.
Like, her delivery is incredible, and she takes things seriously when she needs to. I love the fact that at the start of the game, she's covered in scars.
Oh, nice.
It's like you never see scars on characters, generally speaking, unless they're missing the ring finger from one of their hands because they've been stabbed.
She's definitely been through some stuff.
Yes, and you get that in basically just throughout the course of the game. You meet up with old friends, you meet up with, people you've worked with in the past. But it could just be because of the way I'm playing my Cassandra as being the snarkiest mercenary out there.
Mm-hmm.
But her delivery, like, spoiler alert, Socrates is in this game. Shock of all shocks. And when you get in a conversation with him and do verbal jousting, and literally Cassandra's like, you're just talking around in circles, dude. Like,
right.
You're not... Like, you said the same thing 3 different ways.
Right.
What's your point as a whole? And just head delivery on all of these lines. She's smart when she needs to be smart. She's sarcastic, but she can be dead serious as well.
Mm-hmm.
When she says to someone, I will shove my spear down your throat, I believe her.
Right.
100% I believe that she would do it and enjoy doing so. And something I forgot to mention last week as well. This one I didn't write, I'm an idiot, in my notes for.
Okay.
As you level up and you get better and better and better and so on and so forth, you get new skills.
Mm-hmm.
The free running skill evolves as you level up as well.
Ooh.
So, good news. From the very start of the game, no matter how high the object is you jump off, you will not die.
Oh, okay, great.
So, no more desynchronizations because you jumped off the top of a tower.
Or like you went to go do one of those eagle dives, and instead they just go 45 degrees off to the right, and I was like, well, cool.
Yeah, exactly. So, you will jump off something, you will land on your feet, you'll basically break your legs and your ribs and your hips,
mm-hmm.
and you'll go to 0 health, but you will not die.
Okay, that's fair.
That gets upgraded.
Oh.
So now I am at the point where anytime I jump off anything really high, I do a little flip in the air, land, do a little roll, and immediately keep on running and don't lose any health
at
all.
Cool.
No matter how high I jump off.
That's cool.
It's so cool. And apparently the final version of this evolution, which I haven't seen yet, is the superhero landing from Deadpool. So I don't know if you've seen Deadpool.
No.
They make a big joke in that someone jumps off something really high and does the superhero landing. So the Iron Man thing where one knee down, one knee up, fist on the ground.
Solid 3.
Yes, that's the superhero landing. You can do that as an attack when you jump off big things.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's the level of stupidity I want out of something like that in Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that literally it's the second upgrade you get, and I think you get at like level 20,
mm-hmm.
and it's like, okay, you don't take damage from jumps anymore. It's like,
that's cool.
Great.
Yeah.
Exactly what I needed when I'm running through the mountains. Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes a big difference to the traversal because it's no longer a case of now I've got to climb down this mountain. Now you can just throw yourself off cliffs with whimsy because you enjoy it. Right. Exactly.
That's cool.
It's a really handy... Yeah, it breaks the suspension of disbelief or whatever, but at the end of the day, I'm also firing arrows and controlling them with my mind, so...
Right. At some point, like, who cares? It was like when Borderlands 2 came out, and there was no fall damage, and I think it was Randy Pitchford that's like, look, we just want you to have fun. Like, of course you would actually take damage, but who cares? It's more fun if you don't.
Yeah, that's funny coming from Randy Pitchford, who patched all of the game-breaking bugs out of that game when people were having fun with them.
Yeah, weird.
How ironic.
Yeah.
Colonial Marines, Andy Pitchford.
Whoops.
I think I just called him Andy Pitchford, which is perfect.
That's his brother.
Yes. That's his straight-edge twin brother who's a good guy.
His non-magician brother. Yes.
I played a little bit of Forza Horizon 4. Not a whole lot. not a whole lot this week. I totally forgot the seasons changed because I was enjoying my winter, and I haven't gone back again since it's turned spring. Which was Thursday, I believe, is the cycle day.
Yeah, I don't know what time of day, but yeah, Thursday is the reset day.
Yeah, so I should probably jump back in and get some more spring action going on.
Yeah,
well,
get that spring barn find.
I mean, how much can we say about Forza Horizon 4 pretty soon?
I found, I got the roads achievement.
Yeah, you sent me that text. You hang up this call right now and you go and put yourself in the corner because that's really annoying.
What was that?
You getting all the bloody roads achievements, especially when you didn't actually get all the roads.
So that's really... I understand why they did it, but it's really frustrating. So anyone listening, there's 531 roads, and you get the achievement at 529. I'm torn, because, great, now I don't have to hunt the map from season to season to see if I can suddenly find this one little bitty orange piece of road that I haven't gone across. But then I didn't find all the roads. And now I don't feel any desire to find the last two, because who cares?
I'm curious if they've done that because of the seasons. Like, if in spring there is 525 roads exactly, and then the rest of them are just roads that you get during winter. So maybe it only counts the spring, summer, and fall roads, and you happen to drive on 5 more roads, which were winter-only roads.
Yeah, because when you look at, like, there's the dam that you can drive across during winter, and I think you might be able to drive across it in one other season, but in the other seasons it's overflowing, so there's nothing you can really do. So yeah, I don't know, it's one of those weird things where it's like, cool, now I don't have to spend months hoping that some race takes me across the 2 more roads I need, but I also didn't get it.
True. Just embrace your good luck. It's not often you get dealt such a generous hand.
And looking online, that's how the achievement works. Everybody gets it at 529. So
that would be my guess. That is 2 of them roads are at least winter roads that are only available in winter,
which is fair. But I don't know. It's odd. But I'm still having a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun finding the roads, which I don't feel like I had that much fun in 3, so I'm not sure.
That's because I think in 3 they did a much worse job of showing which ones you'd driven across.
Yeah.
3, when I'm literally sending you the links to the frequently missed roads
and
thing
I'm, like,
on True Achievements.
Squinting on these 4K images that have been blown up, where it's like, oh, did I get that? And people are... My favorite thing in 3 was people said, all right, it's cross-buy, so fire it up on your PC, change the settings on your monitor so it's grayscale or inverse, and then this road should show up and you can go race it. I'm like, oh my god, that's not on us.
No.
Yeah,
that is 100% on Playground, but I'm not complaining because the Forza Horizon games continue to be gems in the racing game genre. So expect me to keep playing it and probably talking a little bit less about it, because
and that's where I'm at too. Like, once a week I might fire it up for an hour or 2 total, or I'll take a couple weeks off and then I'll come back and play 4 hours that week because I really feel like playing a racing game. But it's not... I mean, I don't think that's indicative of its quality. You can come back to it.
Yeah, it's also indicative of the content, aka how much there is there. Yeah.
It's just going to take me a long time to get through a lot of it.
Yep.
And that's okay.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. I'm fine spending my $10 a month to continue to play Forza Horizon 4.
Exactly, yeah.
And the final game for me this week, I went back and did a little bit more Vampyr.
Oh, yeah.
So stuff has kind of hit the fan.
Okay.
I'm deeply embroiled in a political / personal issue between many different factions at the same time.
Interesting.
I'm learning secrets about my progenitor.
Ooh, okay.
Yep, it's going down that road.
Exciting.
From the sounds of it, the Vampyr Lestat himself made me. Deep and rice cut for everybody who's a big fan out there. Because from the sounds of it, it's a big deal. Your being made is a very, very big deal.
Interesting.
Which it kind of starts to really come into focus at the end of chapter 4 with the boss at the end of chapter 4. Not going to talk about who, because someone in the community, Justin, totally sent me a text message saying, "Oh, I just beat this boss, name of boss, at the end of this chapter, chapter 4." My immediate response was, "Thank goodness I beat that already, because that's a huge spoiler."
Right.
It's like, "Oh, you haven't beat the game?" No, dude. Right. I'm up to like chapter 5 now.
Maybe that's why I got a Discord message from him saying, "Have you finished Vampyr yet?" I was like, "No." I was like, "Okay."
Yes, that could have been why, because that game really starts to go some places. And I know it's just been put on sale, and it was like 50% off or something recently. Like, it's so good. I'm still at the point where I refuse to do a little slurp. I ain't slurping nobody yet.
Yeah, right.
But it's at the point now where I feel like it's heading towards endgame, because things are getting more and more difficult.
Yeah.
I'm against new forms of enemies, which I wasn't expecting this late into the game. I've bumped into at least 3 new types of enemy in this chapter alone. And there is a lot of political class, like I said, like there's a whole bunch of discussions about not just politics in the world at large, but politics between the vampires and everybody else. Like, I believe at the start of the game you are referred to as an Econ.
Mm-hmm.
That's a class of vampire, and there is like 20 different classes from the sounds of it.
Jeez.
So it's this real interesting, like, deep dive into the world. Guess what? The combat is still kind of hot garbage.
Yeah.
But you know what? At this point, I don't care.
Yeah.
I've got 8,000 XP. I'll spend that on upgrading my ultimate even more. And then, I will just raise them up on spikes of blood, sacrifice them to the vampire gods, and then move on to my next conversation wheel, which is what I'm real interested in.
Yeah.
I am in the final zone. Like the final area. Like,
okay.
You have the different areas and the
like your districts or whatever.
Yeah. I'm in the last one of them. As far as I know, it's the only one that's on the menu that I haven't been to yet. So,
it'd be really funny if it's almost like a Doom game where it's like, you thought you were done, now you're in hell. It's like, oh, no, Vampyr.
It would not surprise me one bit the way this game is going.
Vampyr hell.
But it's really good. Like, it's genuinely a fantastic game. And I need to get it beat for Game of the Year, because there is something that has happened. I thought last year was tough.
Yeah,
I genuinely thought last year was one of the toughest Game of the Year decisions I've had to make. I have completed 3 contenders for number 1 this year.
Yeah. And there's still more great stuff coming out this year, so who knows what else could be. Mm-hmm. Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming out on Friday, I think.
Yep. I haven't beat Odyssey. Yep. I haven't beat Vampyr.
Right.
I technically will probably never beat Forza Horizon 4.
No.
Red Dead Redemption comes out soon. Dead Cells came out this year. There's 8 games right there that could very easily be contenders for Game of the Year.
Just throw them in a hat, dump them out. There's your top 8.
It's like, in all honesty, because for those of you who don't know, we record Game of the Year before we record an episode proper.
Mm-hmm.
So I might end up, the week we record Game of the Year, I might end up having to go back and put an hour into these different games and be like, just refresh my memory, which one deserves to be top of the list.
Here's why I loved each one of these.
Yeah, because this is going to be a tough decision. Like, a genuinely real tough decision.
I don't envy future us.
No, I don't envy present us, because Odyssey is so long anyway, and then you've got Red Dead Redemption out, which, from everything you're hearing about that game, sounds like it has the potential to be a game changer. Sacrifices being what they are.
Sorry, me typing in the background is me remembering a game I played this week is not on my top 10 list yet. My potential top 10 games I've finished this year.
Is it 2064 read-only memories?
No, that...
Is it Destiny 2?
What's that?
Is it Destiny 2?
No, that doesn't count. That didn't come out this year.
Come on. The DLC came out this year, and that could count.
Yeah, to me, I don't think that feels like enough of a reinvention to say, Like Destiny 2 launched again, nothing like that.
Yeah. You know what's funny? We had a discussion. Look behind the curtain here, folks.
Mm-hmm.
We had a discussion about Prey Moon Crash and how whether or not we could qualify it for Game of the Year this year. And
like
we
it's a standalone title.
Yeah, and we came to the agreement of yes, we could, because it's basically a standalone game,
and it's fundamentally different in a major way.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie. At this point, I don't even know if it's gonna make it.
I was thinking about that. I saw it in my dashboard on my PS4 the other day. I was like, I need to finish that. And I thought, but I kind of don't want to. I like it a lot. I kind of don't want to finish it.
It's at this point, honestly, it's like all this thought we gave to the potential of that. Can it make it on the lists? Honestly, I don't know if it will even break the lists at this point.
Yeah.
That 2018, you are ruining the rule of 7.
Right.
Like
newfound rule of 8.
Yes.
I was going to look if it's on my potential. Yep.
It's on my potentials. Yeah. It's low down on my potentials is the problem right now.
Yeah.
And I just keep adding more to the list to make it go even further down.
That's the real problem, I think.
But yeah, if you listen to us at all and you share our thoughts on certain games, play Vampyr. Just go and give it a shot. Like, put it on. Just at this point, put it on the story difficulty. Yep. Like,
it is stupid easy, and it's great.
Yep. Don't even do what I'm doing and go for the no slurp achievement.
Yep.
Just stick it on the story and go.
Yep.
Because
slurp to your heart's content.
Yes. It's fun fact. This game requires 2 playthroughs because you have to slurp to get some collectibles.
Oh, interesting.
Yep. Fun fact for you there. It's a delicate balance of slurping and healing at the same time.
Ah, right.
To keep the areas above the weird...
The danger zone.
Knockoff. Yes.
Yeah.
Above the anarchy point. But no, that's pretty much all I've been playing this week. Marvel Strike Force, blah, blah, blah. Same old, same old. Yeah. But yeah, go...
Go play Vampyr. Give it a shot, at least. Yeah. On the polar opposite end of the spectrum, I think it was in the iOS store, that one of the brand new games that came out this week that you might like. One of them was Candy Crush Friends Saga.
Oh, come on. Tell me you did not start playing a Candy Crush game. I thought you were above this.
So here's the thing. I've never played a Candy Crush game before, and I like Match 3 games, and I thought, okay, I'll try one of them, because I feel like...
Okay.
I feel like that's... It's a piece of... I've played all of the other Match 3 games. I figure I should play one of them to see why they're so popular, why they made so much money, how the rise of King happened off the back of piles of candy.
Yes.
It's pretty good. I think the thing that's materially different from their other Match 3 games, and they might have done some of this in the Soda one or whatever, but as I said, I haven't played those. It's almost like what PopCap tried to do with Peggle, where you have all these different characters that have different skills.
Yeah.
They're doing that for Candy Crush. I think the core of Candy Crush is intact. It feels very much like I think it was this year I played the Homescapes and Gardenscapes. It's the exact same game. That formula, the nearly predatory Match 3 game formula is still intact.
Sorry, the fact that you said nearly predatory when in the first Candy Crush game, they literally had a level that could not be completed without spending real money.
And I think part of what I enjoy about the interface in Friends is there are levels that are difficult, but when you get to them, it has a little candy skull, and it very clearly says hard. So to me, that makes me feel a little bit better, because in a lot of these games, you'll get to a level, and it'll be like, why do I have 4 moves, and I have to collect 30 things? This doesn't... I just cleared the last 5 levels first try. At least to me, that's more it communicates to me, this level is going to be hard. You're not going to beat it the first time. You're going to have to try a couple of times. That makes me feel better instead of like, because in a lot of these games, I'll get up to a level like that. I'll try a handful of times. Like, okay, here's the pay-to-play level. I'm now uninstalling it because that's the brick wall I've run into. So I've played it. I've played like 40 levels because most of them go by pretty quick. I play it a little bit most nights before bed, but I already feel myself. Like a lot of these match 3 games, I already feel myself pulling away from it a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, come on, how many match 3s can you have in your life at one time? Are you a polygamous match 3 player, or are you
a monogamist?
Yes.
Well, and we were actually talking about You Must Build a Boat in Discord this week, and we were talking about minor teaser for We Roguelike It. We were talking about what attracts us to some roguelikes and the positive power of a larger goal that you're working towards between or during runs in something like a roguelike. And I'd rather take the match 3 formula like You Must Build a Boat and 1 Million and match it to an extended progression system like that, or something like Marvel Puzzle Quest, where I'm working on, I have my character builds, and I have powers, and I have all this stuff that's enhances the match 3.
Mm-hmm.
But when it's just a match 3, I feel like really quickly I see the tricks that the game has, where it's like, now you need here's a new type of tile, you have to hit it, make matches 4 times next to it, and then it breaks. It's like, I get it. You're adding a little bit more complexity, but no real depth to it. I think that's where I start pulling away.
Yeah, it's like making a fan DLC for the first Portal. Like,
yeah.
Okay, congratulations, you made more puzzles with portals in. What else can you do?
Yeah.
Little did we know how much they could do with portals based on Portal 2, but
Yeah, and I think I feel like I learned something playing a Candy Crush game. Like I see the systems, and I see that King has gotten better at doing tutorials and introducing the various currencies over time, instead of you fire up the game and there's 10 bars and you're filling 30 different currencies and here's all this, there's they introduce that stuff to you over time, and I think that's really great. But at the end of the day, I could go play Marvel Puzzle Quest, which I know isn't the target market for Candy Crush. It's people that want to play something for a little bit, maybe often, or before going to bed for an hour, and it's part of their ritual, and the complexity isn't something we're looking for, and that's fine. I just have other match 3 games I could be playing instead.
Yep.
So it seems good. I really have nothing negative to say about it, as long as you can stop yourself from being pulled by the game's microtransactions a little bit, because like one of the big ones is every time you complete a level, it takes the number of stars you have and like throws gold bars into this gold piggy bank, and by the time it fills up, it says, hey, are you ready to empty the piggy bank? And I was like, heck yeah, I am. I filled it up. And they're like, cool, that's $4. And I was like, that's excuse me.
Yep.
And it makes sense, because you fill it up by playing levels. The gold bars will let you continue to play a level after you've failed. All that, I know that game. Like, I know what you're doing, so I can sort of say, no thank you, piggy bank. You're very cute, but $4 is asking a lot.
Is $4 worth it to smash a piggy bank? No.
No, not really. Maybe in real life, I could probably pay $4 to smash a piggy bank. That'd be fun.
Oh, you know what? That would be fun.
Yeah. As long as I don't have to clean it up, because I'm just lazy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Next game, we finished 2064 Real Only Memories this week for Game Club, and I figured, finish that, uninstalled it, and what popped up next on my Switch's list? Yoku's Island Express. So I said,
yay!
Hell yeah, I'm ready to play some of that.
Is this the game that is not on your list?
Yeah, I forgot to put it on my potential top 10 games. Is what I do for top 10 is I list out all the games I've played. When I finish them, I bold them, and then that's basically... I like to only put finished games on my top 10, but there are some exceptions, like Prey Moon Crash, potentially.
Dead Cells.
Dead Cells, yeah, exactly. Like, there are some games that I'm just not going to finish. Like, how long did it take us to finish? It took me 5 years to finish everything in Binding of Isaac. Like, there's not... Dead Cells is asking a lot. Yoku's Island Express is really great. One of the things I really like about it right now is that you sort of can't lose. Like, there doesn't seem to be any failure thing. Like, if you imagine a pinball table, you know, you can always... The ball can sink through the middle. In Yoku's Island Express, the screen just pans down a little bit. There's another bumper that just spits you right back into the playfield. And it's like, yes, I'm still winning. Yep.
Literally, the only thing you can lose is fruits, which are used to like open doors and stuff. But the fruits on all of the different tables and stuff regenerate. So you're not.
You just have to like play more of the table to get more fruit. Like, it's really great. The music is great. It's a beautiful looking game. It's drawn beautifully. I really loved the late title card when you get shot like all the way above the clouds and the late title card is there. So far I don't have a problem with it. It seems like it's this
it's a blue sky game.
Yeah, and it's almost like this light Metroidvania plus light platforming plus a lot of pinball. Which is really great and somehow manages to work really well.
I don't know how it does. Yeah, I honestly have no idea how that thing works as well as it does.
Yeah, and I got my mailbag, and I like the advice for the mail is just stuff a bunch of mail in any mailbox you run across. It doesn't matter, it'll get there. And I'm like, but wait, that's not my job.
And then literally when you walk up to mailboxes and you put mail in it, it's just chock full of envelopes.
A gob of mail into a mailbox. It's really great. I've played maybe about 2 hours, so from what I've seen, I'm about a third of the way through. It's just like you said. It's a blue sky game, which is one of my favorite subgenres. It's great. You're gonna try to deliver mail to someone. They're gonna say, "Oh no, you can't deliver the mail to me because the island's evil god has attacked the island's good god. You need to go talk to this other person." It's like, okay, I'll do that. Yep. I'll pinball my way over there.
Yep.
But
it's funny because literally at one point in the game alone, are you like the protagonist?
Yeah.
Like, you're literally just a messenger.
Yep, you're literally the mailman, and people don't really seem to care about you, which is is pretty great. Yeah.
I can't wait till you get to the styling, like the styling of the pinball. I want to know which ball you go for.
Yeah, I'm excited because I ran into that shop keeper. He's like, "Man, your ball, just that boring white ball. Like we've got to do something about that. But first, you need to go do this other thing." And it's like, okay. Yep. That's normally I would be upset about that, but I'm just gonna do more pinball. This feels real good.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah,
it's genuinely amazing.
It's a really great game. Last but not least, Destiny 2.
Wait, you played Destiny 2?
Yeah. So last week I did my second quick play PvP reset. Today I will be doing my fourth. The triple points weekend has been really good to me.
Well, okay, then you're cheating, essentially.
No, sir, I am not. Because what I'm doing is I'm getting wins in competitive, which is boosting my wins in quick play.
Okay, but I saw the message you got, dude. Clearly you're a cheater.
Man, yeah, I totally forgot about that. So, Iron Banner, there's a lot of stuff happening this week. I'm only going to cover two of them. Iron Banner is back this weekend, and for anyone that might not know, Iron Banner has power advantages. So the higher light level you are than your other enemies, you'll be doing more damage to them. They'll be doing less damage to you.
If you are a noob, do not go in this mode.
100%. Or if you do, like, grind it out, because they changed. They basically, there are 7 bounties that last for the whole week for Iron Banner. They cut the requirements for all of those bounties in half. And what they did is every bounty now gives you powerful gear. So it will drop gear that is above your current light level. So if you are lower light level, it's a really great way to go in there and just grind it out, take the losses, get your points, get your great gear, continue to gear up.
Yep.
I have busted my butt over the last couple of weeks to get to 585, which is 15
/months/years.
Yeah, but like over the last couple of weeks, I've really been doing the hard stuff to try and get geared up for Iron Banner. So I'm 585. Today I just got a bunch of powerful gear. I'm now 595 out of 600. I went in there and I was having a lot of really good matches. Power advantages aside, I was playing really, really well. Like a lot of my matches, I was going 3.0 as my ratio.
And for the records, folks, that's kill-death ratio.
Yes. It doesn't count assists, so it's just raw kill death. I have a really good match where I go like 4 point something and I think it is. And of course, my least favorite thing on PSN is I see it pops up, says, one of the people you just played with added you to a group. It's like, Great. Let's see what message I'm going to get. I thought it was someone on my team, so I thought I was going to be like, hey, man, do you want to group up and we'll play Iron Banner together? I was going to be like, yeah, man, I could do that.
Yeah, it's message lottery time.
Exactly. It was from someone on the other team calling me a cheater, and I'm going to assume it's a he because it's always a dude, was upset because I went in Iron Banner with my best gear on. He was 40 levels below me. So he was upset because he couldn't really do damage to me.
Mm-hmm. What a shame.
I hate to tell you, but when you pick Iron Banner, it says power advantage is enabled.
Yep. Know the mode you are playing. It's not that difficult.
And what I told someone on Twitter was, I'm getting that with people that are at the light level cap. So, like, I'm still getting beat down by someone who has all the raid weapons and the raid armor and then an exotic, like they clearly have way better stuff than I do. So it's happening to everybody. So I thought that was really funny. The last thing is the Festival of the Lost, the Halloween-ish event is going on right now. It has the usual, like the masks and the fun emotes and all that stuff is back. And it's thankfully Bungie has learned that we will spend money on the event if you put a knockout system in. So whenever you get a piece of gear, it goes in your collection, and that won't come out of engrams now, which is smart. Then I spent some money to get something specific. I spent like $10 because I know the knockout system will take care of the stuff I've already gotten. So keep doing that. The big thing that they brought this time is the Haunted Forest. And basically what it is they've taken the Infinite Forest from the much correctly maligned Curse of Osiris DLC.
And did they by any chance make it spooky?
They did. It's totally dark, so like your ghost is out with a flashlight and there's lightning off in the distance. But most importantly, it's infinite this time. So
wait, what?
You go in. Wow. I know. God, how could they? You go in and you get a 15-minute timer. It pauses between rounds, so you can sort of like reload your weapons and stuff. But the whole point is to get as far as you can in those 15 minutes. And you fill up a bar. They call them branches. So in each branch, you fill up a bar to 100%. It teleports you to a boss room. You kill the boss. You go to the next branch. And then you basically get better and better rewards the further and further you go in one run. The highest I've gotten is 7, which is, it starts getting very hard. And it starts off like 200 light level and no debuffs. And the second round, you'll get one of a couple of debuffs, like Blackout, where your radar isn't there, or Glass, where you have half health, and then once you start getting to 4 or 5, you'll get 2 debuffs at a time. Once you get past 10, which I will never do, you get 3 debuffs at a time, and it gets much harder. That has been a really, really, really fun experience.
Because it's a roguelike. Of course it is.
Yeah, but it's also, you want to put something in there called the Infinite Forest. Don't make it so it isn't infinite. And to me, why I like it is these are Diablo 3's greater rifts, and they just put that in Diablo in Destiny 2, and that's great because that's a system that works, and I'm glad they did something like that. And people are asking for it to stay around after the fact. Please don't. Like, take this idea and evolve it and make it into something better and more impactful and better rewards and stuff like that. Make it into another mode, like how Gambit is. Don't just
bring it out again over Christmas and make it like the holiday forest.
Well, I mean, to me, bring the Haunted Forest back every year. I'll be excited to play it in 12 more months, but I won't be excited to play, the Haunted Forest every month for the rest of Destiny 2. So it's nice to see them continue to expand and continue to play around with some of these events. A really interesting thing about it is there are 2 matchmaking modes on this. One is just the regular Haunted Forest. It'll bring your team of 3 in, or fill in however many from some blueberries in the game. Or they call it the Firewalled Haunted Forest, which is you're going in there solo, there's no matchmaking whatsoever. That's really interesting because I'm hoping that they're going to apply that to some other stuff in the game in the future, where something like Nightfalls. You can go in and do a Firewalled Nightfall and just go in solo, or bring your team, or we'll do some light matchmaking if you want to do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they're testing out the tech to do that. But yeah, so far it's been a fun experience. The event-specific weapon is an auto rifle that, no matter what light level you're at, drops at 600. So for a whole bunch of people, that is a huge boost. And while you're carrying that, all the powerful drops will be, they'll drop 40 or 50 higher than what you are right now. So it's a you have to work to get it, but the reward is multifaceted, and it's a good gun. So far, pretty good. I don't know if we'll get something in between this event and then the winter DLC, the Black Armory that's coming out, probably in December sometime. But even if we don't, this lasts until the first week of November. So, it's nice to see an event like this. It's nice to have it around for 3 weeks for people that are traveling or have some work stuff. You have an opportunity to play it. But so far, 2 thumbs up. Destiny 2 is shockingly, when the live team takes over a Destiny game, it gets real good.
Yeah,
weird.
Because they actually seem to have a plan in place.
Well, and they want to improve Destiny in foundational ways that really matter, like the collections, like the triumphs, like having a really fun, meaty, replayable event. That's the stuff that is going to keep people coming back for weeks upon weeks. But yeah. So Destiny 2 is still great. And that's all the games I'm playing this week. So let's take a break. Let's talk releases for the week of October 22nd, 2018. Just Dance 2019 is coming out. Let's break out these platforms for the Switch. Oh,
no, don't just say everything and move on. Come on.
No, it isn't everything. You need to listen to this list. It's so good. No. The Switch, the PS4, the Xbox One, the Xbox 360, the Wii U, and the Nintendo Wii. the Wii's probably very last game.
Yeah.
They can't put Just Dance 2020. Cut to next year this time, where I say they just can't put Just Dance on 2020, and then October 22nd, 2019. That's what we're talking about.
Well, they're also going to throw this out eventually. It's going to get the iOS port. It's going to get the Android port with the phone recognition stuff in there. Where's the DS game? Why no DS?
Yeah, exactly. Where's my Game Boy Advance Just Dance 2019?
Mm-hmm. Where's my DOS Just Dance? Thank you very much.
Drill Dozer had a gyroscope in it. So, Thronebreaker, The Witcher Tales comes out on PC. I believe it comes out PS4 and I think Xbox One in 2 weeks. So this is just the PC release. This is the Witcher Gwent card game that is now suddenly a single-player 40 to 60-hour experience. So,
okay,
if it's the right price, I will pick this up. But I still have to buy. Speaking of Game of the Year, I still haven't bought This Is the Police 2 because it's so expensive.
Yep.
I keep looking at it. It's
literally the thing that's kept me from buying it. It's like,
let's buy This Is the Police 2.
Support, yeah.
It's $40.
But the problem is that I haven't seen, we only played This Is the Police because I threw it on our list because I saw a quick look of it on Giant Bomb. I'm 3 years behind in my Giant Bomb videos, so I haven't seen the quick look for This Is the Police 2. If
I haven't either.
Did one.
I almost don't want to watch it because I loved the first one so much, and I know they'll improve so much on the sequel that I want to be surprised, but it ain't cheap.
So I need to write a note for myself and write This Is the Police 2 ? Do I want to try and throw that in my list? Try and play it during my hopefully week of vacation.
I'm just going to type that in my games I've missed in 2018 list right now. Along with Life is Strange 2, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah, remember that one came out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do. I remember everybody talking about it.
Yeah. Next up, Castlevania Requiem comes out on the PS4. I haven't seen a price for this, but I don't have Symphony of the Night on my PS4, and I'm a sucker, so...
Yes, but also, keep in mind, is this the remake or the re-release that does not include the correct verbiage at the beginning of the game?
It doesn't. But, yeah, I don't hate the...
Stop supporting Konami. They don't do you any favors, so stop supporting Konami.
I can't because they keep putting out Symphony of the Night, and I'm weak, Moon. I'm weak. Just a little slurp.
Just...
Red Dead Redemption 2 comes out on the PS4 and the Xbox One. Remember, there's no PC release. I think this comes out on the 26th, so this is a Friday release.
Yeah,
probably the economy probably thanks Rockstar for putting it on Friday.
Yep, and so does all of the UK people for sticking to the UK schedule, and soon the US people will learn Fridays are better.
Yeah, more time to do it.
Yep.
And last but certainly not least, coming on the Switch is Windjammers. The game's great. All right, let's talk about two sort of quick news stories here. I promise you I'm not beating a dead horse with this first news story. And I swear I'm not. We've talked a lot of yang about this game the last couple of months. I promise I'm not dancing on the grave or anything. But I feel like for some anticipated PS4 exclusives, it's our job to say when it's been delayed. Days Gone has been delayed by 2 months. So
big. Okay.
I feel like that's one of those delays where it's like the game's not in trouble anymore. It's not getting delayed another year.
No, it's not in trouble because nobody cares.
Well, I think 2 more months tells me that I see what you're doing.
Yep.
Tells me that the game just needs that little extra polish. And it's not like, we'll see you again at E3 2019. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, this isn't a Final Fantasy, accidentally changed the date after saying we weren't going to delay it any further. This isn't a Final Fantasy 7 with it will come out eventually. This isn't a Shenmue with the delay. It's none of that stuff.
Yeah.
This is just a 2-month push, probably for a little spit and polish, like you said.
Yeah.
That's fine. Who actually cares at this point? Because I really don't care.
I really want it to come out and be good. Like, I want it to be one of those games where it comes out and it's like, oh, okay, I watch the quick look and I read a bunch of reviews and I go like, oh, this is actually, okay, this isn't the game I thought it was going to be, and now I need to go play this. This is weird. Like, that's what I really want to have happen, but...
You want it to be the inverse of The Order, where it was like, oh, this looks so good, let's buy it day one. Oh, wow, 4 hours. Really not great.
Yeah, The Order was fine, but it was a 4-hour game at $60. That's not great. But yeah,
considering we merit things on being $60 games that have 10-hour campaigns these days, that's a good thing.
Yeah. I would love Days Gone to be good. I just have zero expectations for any of it other than zombies, so many of them.
In all honesty, I just hope that The Apprentice finally gets a good game.
That's true. Hey man, I know it'll make it a good game. Turn it into a roguelike. An open world roguelike. There we go.
If this turns out to be a roguelike, that will be the best thing ever.
Man, yeah, that would be my weakness, yeah. And our last news story here, Skybound CEO, we talked a couple weeks ago about them saying we're going to be picking up the rest of the Walking Dead, the final season, and we're going to finish it out. They said that they're aiming to hire on as many of the former TellTale employees as they possibly can to get the original team back to finish the original script and the game that they were originally making. As we said a couple weeks ago, that's really great. We'll see what happens after the season is done. Because if they say, by the way, we're done with that, so you guys gotta go again.
Yeah. To be honest, at this point, I wouldn't fault any single person who is in that group who does not go back.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I wouldn't fault anyone that does, because at some point you have to feed your family and you have to keep a roof over your head. But if you have the opportunity to not, I mean, unless you just want to see a project through, and I can definitely understand that. I don't know. I don't know if I would. Yeah. Let's move on to questions. Timid Hulk in Discord, which is a really great name. Says,
and by the way, I love his avatar picture in Discord.
Yes, it's really good. It says, hearing a lot about Assassin's Creed lately had me thinking about how I've not played any since the original and only a few minutes. Also, having missed Far Cry, Uncharted, Tomb Raider, God of War, and probably more I'm not thinking of, I'm curious, is there a good jumping on point for these and other major franchises? P.S. I have both consoles, but will choose Xbox first due to controller. Okay, so let's break these out in order he said.
Okay, so Assassin's Creed, we'll start with that. There's a very obvious jumping on point for this. It's not Odyssey, it's Origins.
Yeah, I would say Origins is probably the best bet. I'd say if you want to play a bunch, go back to 2 and play the high points.
The 2 trilogy, yeah.
Yeah, the 2 trilogy, skip 3, maybe play some Black Flag, but don't 100% it. You know, you can sort of sample a bunch of these games that are going to be really cheap as you go through the series. But I would say at this point, Origins is probably your best entry point, especially with how different it is and how much you sort of don't have to know the history of the modern day stuff and the assassins and all that stuff. That's probably your best entry point, I would agree. Far Cry.
3 every single time.
I don't like 3, but I really like 4. I would say 4. I think 3 is a fine game. I just didn't click with it like I did with 4.
3 and 4 are both genuinely fantastic games.
Yeah.
Depending on what you're into, you might prefer one or the over the other, but I think 3 and 4 are the high points for that series.
Yeah. Don't play 1, it's too old. At this point, it's and 2 is a little too weird.
Yeah, 2, you'll just end up with malaria.
Yeah. So, 3 or 4, depending on whichever one fits your fancy more. Uncharted 2. Hands down.
I don't know. I've never played an Uncharted game.
The first one is fine, but not great. I think the second one narratively is probably the strongest. To say, I think it says the most. That's the only one I've finished. Is 2.
Wow.
Yeah. Tomb Raider.
Rise. It's the. The modern day trilogy, I've only played the first one, which I'm pretty sure is that Rise of the Tomb Raider.
No,
Or
I
is
think
Rise the second one?
Rise is the second one, and Shadow is the third one. I think the first one's just Tomb Raider.
Well, that game is incredible.
Yeah, I'd start the trilogy from the first one. First one's good, second one's really good, and I haven't played the third one yet. There's another game we missed in 2018. The new Tomb Raider. Oh boy, yeah. I really, I had no affection for any of the original Tomb Raider games when they came out. I really like this new trilogy.
Yep. The only affection I had for the OG Tomb Raider games was doing the swan dive onto bricks.
Yep, that was always a good time.
Yep.
God of War, the new one,
2018.
Yeah,
I haven't played any of the previous installations, be that the OG trilogy, be that the PSP games, be that all of the other ones. Start with 2018. It is one of the single best experiences in video games for me in that kind of genre.
Yep.
It's just so well put together. It's about as perfect for that genre as you can get.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
I would agree with that.
And Christopher What's-His-Face is Kratos, who is amazing. Christopher Judge, that's the guy.
And I feel like it probably wouldn't be impossible for you to go back and play the originals. I'd almost recommend putting them on easy and just sort of blowing right through them. But I feel like if you're going to play if you're going to pick one, you have to play the new one. It's so good. Any other big franchises that we maybe missed in here that Timid Hulk should start on?
Oh, let me tell you all about this little unknown indie game called Destiny 2. No, I'm just kidding.
No, actually the one I was gonna actually ask about was Halo.
Honestly, I think 4 is the place to start. Okay. Because 4 is a complete revamp of the engine. I haven't played 5 personally, but 4 is the point of that game where they start delving more into the characters rather than the actual world itself. Like 1 through 3, I think are genuinely good games because they take combat and use that setup in a way that not many other games do. It's the big discrepancy. Me and you have discussed this plenty of times. It's not a run and gun. It's a think and shoot.
Yeah, it's a encounter experience.
Yeah, and it's all about planning your moves, figuring out which way you want to go, making sure you've got the right ammo, that kind of stuff. I think 4 is where it really starts to get into who is Master Chief, who is Cortana, and there is a very interesting play on that between the fact that the AI is more human than the human, because the human has been programmed to be basically an unstoppable killing machine.
Yeah.
Like, it's a really interesting backwards and forwards. And I'll be honest, if you really want to get into Halo, read the books, because those books are genuinely great books.
Yeah. And I mean, if you like 4, then the Master Chief Collection is still getting a lot of love today.
Yep.
So, other big franchises. I was gonna say Mass Effect, but the first Mass Effect is sort of hard to get into nowadays, and you don't want to just hop into the best one, which is 2.
Yeah. I mean, if you've got the chance, well, you said you prefer to play on Xbox, but you have both consoles. If you have a PC that can run it, Mass Effect on PC is doable
and highly moddable.
Yes, which would be the way to do Mass Effect 1.
Yeah,
but 2 is one of my games of last generation, so
yeah.
And besides, we're talking about starting on like really big franchises. That's the start of that franchise, so there is no real jumping on point there other than the beginning.
Well, and you could pick up Andromeda, though. I mean, that's a whole fresh start for better or for worse. I never finished it, so I'm not going to weigh in. But
I like it.
Yeah, I think you could go those paths, Andromeda or 1, and I would recommend. The first trilogy is great from front to back. I think it's fantastic. I can't think of any other big franchise. Like you can't count, Sonic or Mario or Final Fantasy. Those are all so different that.
Yeah, same with Call of Duty Battlefields as well. Like, yeah, they're all. That just depends on your style of first-person shooter. Which one do you prefer to play?
Plus, I feel like with Call of Duty and Battlefield, you know already. They're so pervasive that you know already if you like one or the other, or if you don't like multiplayer shooters, or you don't like that style or something, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we covered the majority of the franchises. Yeah, go play some great games. Almost all of those franchises are really good.
Yep.
T-Bomb Rocks in Discord has a couple questions for us. With Nintendo making an easier to play version of The Legend of Zelda for their online service has me thinking. Actually, we didn't cover this, so they made an optional mode in the Switch version of the original Legend of Zelda where it starts you off with like the second tunic and the sword and one of the candles, something else. It's definitely optional, so you can still play it the normal way, or you can play it with like a little bit of the hurdles initially removed, but not in a major way. Is Nintendo making a value of their online service for more casual or nostalgia-based players, or is this more so of a way of making their service stand out as something completely different over PSN/Xbox Live?
I think it's a mixture of both.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, as we can all sit here and go, oh, Sonic was so good, or, you know, Mario was amazing. I mean, very recently, I believe, on Giant Bomb, they did a video series about playing Mario Brothers 1, not using warp zones, because that game is hard as hell.
Yep.
And people our age tend not to realize that the games we played in our youth, they were very, very difficult to play, very hard to actually get through, and you want to go back and you want to have that experience of what you played when you were a kid, but none of us, hold on, it's my catchphrase time.
Right.
None of us have the time anymore.
Pew, pew, pew. Yeah.
So it's a very good way to get that nostalgic people back in and playing it and making it easier for them to get underway and to experience that the way they remember experiencing it.
Well, and I think on the other side of the coin, too, you can probably play the original Legend of Zelda in your browser right now. It's probably not obviously it's not an official site or whatever. You have an Android phone, you sideload an emulator, it has 400 games on your SD card, you can play Legend of Zelda. So they have to do something to make it easier to get over that initial hump of wanting to play a game that's 30 years old, and then make it a little bit more accessible at the beginning. If you've never played the original Legend of Zelda, you might not know. Go left a screen, go in the cave, there's your sword. Now you can attack stuff. You know, like, you start with your armor, your shield, your sword. You know, you've got all the necessary tools. It doesn't give you the best versions of them. You need to go, you know, actually complete the dungeons and do that stuff. But I know some people were thinking the sky was falling on that, but I mean, that's fair. It's not, you know, you have the best tunic, the best sword, you're shooting lasers out of your eyes. It's not like, you know, God mode or anything, but it's a cool little optional mode for you to go and play. And I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's not going to exactly give you the IDGAF straight away.
Yeah, exactly.
So, no, it's fine. Yeah. You know, let people play how they want to play it. Guess what? Your version is still there too. Enjoy that if you prefer.
Yeah, just like uncheck the box that says new mode or whatever they called it. Or try it and see how fun it is. And stop complaining on the internet. That's our job.
No, please. I think we're one of the few people out there who don't really complain on the internet that much.
That's true. Yeah. Piggyback question. I was in Best Buy for the first time in a while, and I saw them selling a wireless classic NES-style controller for the Switch. Do you think Nintendo waited so long to have their online service active so they could sell more peripherals during the holiday season, or more it was just not ready for the masses?
A little from column A, a little from column B, mostly column A.
He posted a picture in Discord too, and I feel like it wasn't.
It wasn't. It was I believe it was the Wii U NES controller, and then he actually corrected himself and said, "Yeah, it's not that one. That's a different
My
one."
Arcade brand as well." So, I mean, part of the frustrating part is Nintendo did put out Joy-Con NES controllers that you can only buy on their website if you're a Nintendo Online subscriber. So, doing a good thing and then Nintendoing it up. But I feel like if you're in Nintendo's position, they don't need to do that. They already made the controls from their perspective. They already made the controllers for the Switch. You can just play the games with that. Oh, you want to play an NES controller? Okay, we're not making those. I don't know why you want to do that. That sort of thing. They have an NES Classic to purchase at Best Buy if you'd like to do that very thing.
Yeah, but this is also Nintendo, who are the king of peripherals. So,
yeah,
how many little fandangles could you get for the Wii remotes again?
God, I don't even know.
There was the wheel, there was the gun, there was the fishing rod.
Yep. Any console that has a fishing rod is okay by me.
The fact that they have a cardboard fishing rod that clacks for the Switch is genius.
That is really good. Yeah. Oh, man. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for writing in with your question.
Really quick?
Yes.
Question in chat.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Mr. Golf Pants from Mixer in chat says, here's another question. Microtransactions within games today. Flavor of the week or permanent change in development philosophy? Your thoughts?
Permanent change. It's happening one way or the other. I believe it's consistently we don't agree with this, myself and you. But at the end of the day, they make money. So they are going to be in there whether we can kick and we can scream and we can Jim Sterling all we want. They are going to be in games, period, from this point out.
You just choose whether or not you want to interact with them. Like, I didn't like how they did them in Shadow of War, the second Mordor game, so I didn't buy it. So I didn't think that was a good idea for them to gate so much content back there. I think if you look at something, between Destiny 2 that I play and your wife plays a lot of Rainbow Six Siege and Rocket League, I feel like they have done microtransactions more correctly. They're cosmetic stuff that you can directly purchase. Destiny 2 does a mix of both. You can directly purchase what you like, and it's a fairly reasonable price. That's the sort of stuff I'm going to more regularly interact with on top of the money I've already paid to purchase the game, because I feel like that's my choice to interact with it. If I really like one specific item, I can just go get that item, and then I'm done. But if you give me something like Overwatch or Dota or some of these other games where I'm paying to open a box that has a chance of getting the thing I really want, that's not something I'm going to interact with. I don't. That's not what I'm interested in.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. It is my aim to have a Forza Horizon 4 party where every single one of us, except for you, has the Carlton, and we just rub it in your face.
I hate you. But that's also very likely to happen. Because I still don't have it.
I know. I'm literally hoping that you don't until I've got 6 people who do have it, and then we could all be in a race together and just be Carltoning around you.
Bungie actually tweeted, they're like, hey, what dance from Destiny 1? And I was just like, the Carlton! Bring back the Carlton! It was called Enthusiastic Dance. I was like, bring it back. Okay. Please, please, please. I want it. It's so dumb. And I hear that music in my head. Da, 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 da. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Golf Pants, for asking the question in chat. And thank you very much, everyone, for listening this week. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. Everywhere to find and follow us is on the right-hand side of the page. Game Club game this month is Massive Chalice. You can be House Musum or House Bocham. I don't remember.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's one of the two. And Patreon. Patreon.com/E1M1, the ones are numbers. Get early access stuff to basically everything except for this very show that's on the network now.
Pretty much. Including
Dynamic Soundtrack. You'll get the ODNF is coming out pretty soon. Episode 9? 8?
8.
8. So get that episode and all the previous ones in your personalized RSS feed.
Ooh.
And help pay for the hosting on the show, because it ain't cheap.
Nope.
And I thought there was one more thing. Oh, t-shirts are still available. Yep. Teespring. Search for our Bloom North 2020 t-shirts. You can go buy that classic TVGP joke that still tickles me, and probably just me. But
yeah, it tickles me too.
Yeah, as Almighty Tooth on Twitter said, they're the voice of a nation.
Yep.
And I'm upset I didn't think about that myself. Versus. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. We'll see you all next week.
Bye.
Okay, titles.
Oh yeah, this is where I go first, isn't it?
Yeah.
It makes the Xbox heavier.
I have a different one. I wrote down heavier and more stable.
Blob.
Blob.
Jump off the edge of cliffs with whimsy. Slurp and heal. This one is a twofer, so it's 2 in 1. So it's nearly predatory match 3 game, or just nearly predatory, which is probably a little bit bad on the SEO thing.
Yeah, but the other one's a little too long, unfortunately.
Yeah. Polygamous match 3 player.
I might just write down polygamist match 3.
You're cute but $4.
Wait,
Grind it out. Message lottery. You're clearly a cheater. Don't support Konami. And I'm weak moon.
What was the you're cute but $4?
You're cute but $4. Yeah, that was Dimebag called that in chat. That is
That's
you
a good
talking about the
catch.
piggy bank.
Yeah. You're cute but $4. All right, I have the same place for 2 weeks. Heavier and more stable, which I really like. Poof, Blob. The Blob of Roads. Blobs on the Horizon, which I really like.
That's pretty good, actually.
Slurp and Heal, Nearly Predatory, Polygamist Match 3, which is probably right out, and You're Cute but $4. I like Blobs on the Horizon a lot.
I'm torn between that and Poof Blob.
Yeah.
Blobs on the Horizon, I think it's a bit snappier.
Yeah, I feel like Poof Blob is funnier voiced, but not written. I'm gonna do Blobs on the Horizon because that one is just. I thought the Blob of Roads was gonna seal the deal. Then Blobs on the Horizon came out, and I was like, all right, that's the Blob joke of this week. That's my favorite Blob.
Like 6 Blob jokes.
So good. All right, hold on. I stretch my back here. Okay. Starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 574 for October 22nd, 2018. Blobs on the Horizon.
Did I get an update or glasses?
All right, thank you so much, everyone, for watching and listening, as a matter of fact. Thank you, Mr. Golf Pants, for showing me that there are some
Mixer
cool
people
in
can be
Mixer.
okay.
Yeah, two thumbs up, restoring my faith in Mixer.
4 thumbs up.
Yeah, there you go.
Restoring faith.
All 4 thumbs up. I will see you all next week. Bye.